Hey everyone, what's happening? It's your pal, Christian Colabelli, product manager of Effects Pedals, and I'm back with episode 2 of So in episode 1, we had a kind of a more dense lead line, and in this episode, I want to examine 2 presets that will help you create a beautiful atmospheric patch that's perfect for chordal picking or arpeggiated chordal parts and can really create a mood in the room. And we're going to be examining Bright Abyss, a deeper preset within MicroPitch, and Stellar, a deeper preset within Blackhole. So let's get into it. Okay, so as I did last week, I'm utilizing EDM, Eventide Device Manager, because when I build presets, I like to visualize everything. You can obviously do this right on the pedal if you're more comfortable, but this is just literally how I go about my workflow. So I figured I'd present it to you this way. Okay, so I have Bright Abyss queued up, and let me just give you my unaffected signal right now so you can hear. So I'm just going through a clean patch on the Kemper, and now let me activate MicroPitch so you can hear Bright Abyss. Okay, so you can hear some things right off the bat that are very obvious. One of which is the fact that the pitch is eternally rising. And that's exactly what I'm going for right here. I think that is a key element in ambient kind of music, and it really evokes a certain mood. Very cathartic. So you might be wondering, how is that actually happening? And there's some key elements. So first of all, let me just take you through some of the knobs here. And a very important factor is the mix knob being down. We don't want the mix to be super overpowering here. We want to preserve the actual picking dynamics of the passage. The last thing you want is to be arpeggiating a chord and have it get completely swallowed up by the actual effect. So that's the first thing. How am I creating that eternal rise? Well, that has to do with the feedback knob. And as you can see here, my feedback is nearly dimed. I'm nearly at 127 at MIDI value, and that's what these yellow numbers are representing here, in case you don't remember from last week. So basically, the feedback is nearly dimed, and that is causing the delay line to repeat back on itself with a pitch, so you're getting that eternal rise happening. And notice that pitch A is actually greater than pitch B right now. So you're going to hear more of that because pitch A is also favored in the pitch mix. So let me just do the exact opposite so you can hear what it would be like if I wanted a eternal descent to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to literally flop these. Flip-flop. This is terrible. And I'm going to also favor B a little bit more now. So now watch what happens. So we're going down. But you may have noticed that that effect didn't occur as quickly as it did with pitch A, and that has to do with the delay times. So delay B is actually a longer delay time. If you want this effect to happen right away, you need to have a shorter delay time, as with delay A, as you heard in the original preset. So keep that in mind. That's essential. And also, everyone, if you want to save these presets, if you look up here in EDM, you'll see the save buttons right here. You could save over this, or you could also just scroll, you could scroll down to an empty slot and save it in there. It's super easy. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cancel out of that. We're back to our original preset. And notice I also have a, my tone knob is cranked. I want this to be bright, hence the bright abyss. Again, that's going to get your picking dynamics out in front. Usually when you have like a delay line that's feeding back into itself like that, if the tone is too dark, it becomes a wash, and that's not what we want here. We want our arpeggiated clean part to really pop, and that's the way to accomplish that. Okay, one more thing. The rate knob is cranked up here. So you might hear a little bit of warble. See, it's kind of like... So that's like a secondary kind of effect here. And that's kind of like the icing on the cake. I have a super shallow depth. I don't want that to be super obvious, but I want that to kind of hit the listener in the delay trail. And they might think, oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically it with this, with the Bright Abyss. And now let's switch over to Stellar and Blackhole, and we'll examine that preset and see how they work with each other. I already have Stellar queued up. Let me, again, clean tone. Now here's Blackhole. So listen just to a single chord. So you may, or you might know that Blackhole is a reverb powerhouse, and that's what it's famous for. But what you might not know is that Blackhole can also do delay, and it really has to do with the relationship of two knobs, the size and the gravity knob. So as you can see here, my gravity is cranked. I am at 127 MIDI value, so I'm fully loaded, locked and loaded on the gravity, and size is totally rolled off. I'm totally counterclockwise. So in this position, you're going to basically utilize Blackhole as a delay pedal. So if you remember, of course you remember, we just did this, but in Bright Abyss we went for a really kind of bright dynamic with that preset. So that's our yin, and the Blackhole is our yang. We want to go with kind of a darker, almost analog or faux analog kind of delay pedal. So what I've done is rolled off the highs, as you can see right here. I've accentuated the lows. And that's pretty much, that is the key. I'm going for that old kind of, you know, like that Ibanez analog vibe. And all of those delay pedals are really mid-heavy accentuated. And again, super warm. You know, the old analog stuff is kind of unpredictable, and this kind of, it kind of cops that pretty well. Like, I was actually super surprised when I was creating these presets that I could get in that territory. So my depth is rolled off, my rate is, everything else is kind of in the middle. The important thing that you have to take from this is that size, 0, gravity, cranked, roll off the high, bump the low a little bit. That's how we're getting our kind of analog tone. So let me now flip on the MicroPitch, and let's hear what we have with these two presets in a potent preset pairing. So as you can hear, the Blackhole really filled in the MicroPitch. Again, we have this super bright preset combined with this kind of warm mid-heavy preset, And when they're combined, it just creates this gorgeous atmosphere. So now let's listen to this potent preset pairing in the context of a song. We'll add some drums, see what happens. All right, everyone, thank you so much for hanging with me again. I really appreciate it. Head to eventideaudio.com to learn more about the .9 family of pedals, and please like and subscribe and hit that bell to receive notifications below. And tell me, what are your favorite preset pairings? What are ones that you'd like to see me cover? Maybe if you leave me some cool ones, I might hit them up in a future episode. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys are doing out there. And I hope you can take some of this knowledge and apply it to your own workflow. Again, thank you so much. This is Christian Colabelli signing off. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.